As I'm sure you've guessed, that was a blackout to show the end of Act 1, Scene 1. In my mysteries, that's the scene where I usually introduce you to the characters and their relationships to one another. This is called exposition. Since they and I told you something about them before the show began, it was just a bit shorter than normal. Now, let's get into Scene 2, about 2 hours later. This is the scene where the plot thickens. Make that, the plot, like gravy, thickens. I'm sorry, I tried to get the full title in there. Act 1, Scene 2.
Edward, darling, what you doing here all by your lonesome? Nearly everybody's in the parlor playing games till you're ready to open the gifts and make your announcement. Well, they're all promotions. Nobody's really interested in Monopoly or Clue.
I know of a game. How about you and I go play one of our own, private?
You can't do that, sugar. Not here. You know that.
I don't like being told no, Pikachu. You know that.
Now, don't lose your temper with things, sweet pea. Besides, for all I know, I might be the one you're playing in the fire, or whatever.
Have you been up to no good, Piggy Sue?
Of course not. I would never do anything to hurt you, honey lamb, but somebody could have told you I have been. Allegra, for instance, she hates me, you know. I just hate it when somebody hates me.
Allegra has never said a word against you.
If she hasn't, it's because she's afraid to. I'm sure she suspects I'm more to you than an employee, but she doesn't dare confront you about it because she knows if she forced you to choose between us, you'd toss her aside like a used Kleenex.
You think so?
Well, sure. You told me you made her sign one of those prenuptial agreements before you married her, right? Like the one Justine had to?
Of course. I'm too smart to let some fortune hunter take me for millions.
But before you divorce them, your wives get to live like queens. Allegra has ridden the merry-go-round long enough. It's somebody else's turn. Why, who knows? You might have finally found a woman who you want to live with for the rest of your life.
We'll see, Peggy Sue. After tonight, there could be quite a few changes around here.
Fine. If you'll excuse me, I need to slip into one of the upstairs bathrooms and freshen up. Don't you go and reveal your big announcement till I get back. I don't suppose you'd give me a hint as to who it is you plan to reprimand, would you?
I can't do that, Peggy Sue.
Even if I pout?
Even if you pout.
Well, then I won't waste the pucker. They make little lines around your mouth anyway. I'll be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail.
Oh, here you are, Edward.
Were you looking for me, Beatrice?
Yes.
What is it?
I listened to what you said to all of us earlier, but I'm confused.
I expected that.
I think you're unhappy with one of us.
At least one.
And you're planning to punish someone?
Now that is my plan.
I hope it isn't me.
Why? Have you been naughty, Beatrice?
I don't think so. I try to be good. I try really hard.
Then what are you worried about?
Those papers in the envelope you put in your pocket. I'm afraid they're papers to, what do you call them? To put me in a home.
Commitment papers.
Yes, that's it. You wouldn't send me away, would you, little Bubba? This is my home. I've lived here my entire life. Both of us have. I don't want to go anywhere else.
I hate to banish you, Beatrice, but if you've done something really bad and need to be punished,
I wouldn't. I haven't.
we'll see. Do you know a Mr. Jameson, Beatrice?
Jameson? No, don't think so.
Paul Jameson.
Jameson. Paul Jameson. I know where I've heard that name. Just the other day, when I walked into the library, your lawyer, Miss Tate, was on the phone. And when she saw me, she said, "I'll get back to you, Jameson."
That's very interesting.
Yes, Mr. Worthington?
Hollister, my sister is tired. I thought you might have Ida brew her cup of tea to refresh her.
I'll be glad to. Miss Beatrice, why don't you come with me?
With you? Of course, Hollister. Where are we going?
To the kitchen. We're going to have some tea,
A tea party?
if you'd like.
Oh, I would.
Is that a new perfume you're wearing, Miss Beatrice? It's very nice.
Yes, it's called Primrose.
Primrose.
Oh.
Look, it will only take a few minutes.
All right, if you insist. Drop the embers in the fire have gone out. Why did you pull me away from the table? I own Boardwalk and Park Place. Well, I'm here to lose a fortune in rent.
Good grief, Lauren, it's just a game.
One that you're losing. I hope you manage Edward's financial affairs better than you do at Monopoly. So, what did you want to see me about?
Look, those papers that Edward asked you to bring, what are they?
Gracious, Roy. You know I can't answer a question like that. How long do you think Edward will retain me as his lawyer if I went around revealing privileged information?
It's just... Look, you heard what he said about there being a traitor among us in the group tonight. Truth is, I transferred some of Edward's money, quite a sizable amount, into a bank account under my name.
Why would you do that?
Because a major television studio that Edward's been interested in is going on the market. And if they knew that he was interested in, then they would double their asking price. So I plan on taking the money, making a purchase under my name, then transferring it to Worthington Enterprises.
I see.
Yes, now that I've explained it. But if Edward doesn't know about the transfer, then he won't suspect.
Say no more. Want some free advice? If I were you, I'd keep that get out of jail free card, teacher.
This is no joking matter.
You're right. So why tell me? Why not tell Edward?
Because if I'm not the one he suspects of betraying him, then there's no sense in bringing it up. He hasn't been interested in how I've handled his investments up until now.
And why draw his attention to it if you don't have to? Right?
Well, yes. So if you would just tell me if those papers relate to me.
I don't know.
What?
I said I have no idea what's in that envelope. Edward asked me to go by his office, look in the desk drawer, and take out a blank envelope with a wax seal, bring it to him upon my arrival.
Look.
So that's what I did.
I assumed that you knew.
As did everyone else. I suspect Edward could have brought it home himself, but he had me do it to stir everybody up. The fact is, I am as much in the dark as you are about its contents.
So they could pertain to you just as much as anyone.
Me? I have nothing to feel guilty about. My conscience is clear.
Is it? Is it really?
Roy! The game's over. Justine won. I would have, but I hid my money and I forgot where I put it. Oh, here it is. Silly me. I must have deposited it in my bra. Now I'm flat busted. My goodness, you're a pair of gloomy gusses. What's the matter?
Nothing. I'm going for a breath of fresh air.
But Roy, it's going to storm. Oh dear, I wish he wouldn't go outside where all it's lightning. He could be shot dead as a doornail. Whatever that is.
I guess that he figures that the wrath of Mother Nature is nothing compared to Edward's.
Huh? Lauren, we rolled for you and Roy. I took all your money. You went bankrupt.
So I heard.
I believe this belongs to me as well. The way I see it, get it while you can. Edward taught me that. Don't, Mom. Don't worry, dear. I'll hold my temper. At least until your father makes his announcement. After that, anything goes. I hate suspense. I love murder mysteries, but I always read the last chapter first to find out who did it. If you feel a rumble, it's Agatha Christie spinning in her grave. Calm down, Aggie. Murders make me nervous. And when I get nervous, I break out in hives. It's just awful. I'm sure it is. It's a good thing calamine lotion is so cheap. So, Lauren, how about telling us what's in that envelope Edward is carrying around near where his heart would be? If he had one. I'll make it worth your while.
Roy was wondering the same thing earlier. As I told him, I don't know.
You don't? I thought it might be, never mind.
Why should you be concerned, Deborah?
Well, Father arranged for the college to send him a copy of my grades each semester. Not that he cares about me, he's more interested in how his money's being spent. I've had some problems lately, and, well, I haven't done so hot in most of my classes.
So you're worried that Edward might cut off your tuition?
Yes, if he tries it, I'll cut off his head. Oh my goodness!
We don't know what he's planning until he decides to tell us. Until then, the contents of that envelope will remain a mystery.
I am back, Eddie, honey, fresh as a daisy. Oh, I thought Edward was in here. Have y'all seen him?
Not lately, which is how I like it.
Ever since his announcement, he's been lying low.
Not low enough. I prefer 6 feet under. Mom, you don't mean that, don't I?
Well, he was in here a little while ago. Oh, the French doors are open. I wonder if he went outside.
No, Roy did. I'd better find him before it starts to rain and he gets soaked. I don't think they make drip-dry tuxedos, do they? Excuse me. So, you've made yourself fresh as a daisy and are looking for Eddie, honey. Just how personal of a secretary are you, Pegasus?
I don't have the foggiest notion of what you mean.
I think you do. It seems to me you're setting yourself up to be the third Mrs. Worthington the third.
What Edward and I do is none of your business.
Maybe, and maybe not. If Eddie, honey, divorces Allegra and marries you, he might decide that 2 ex-wives are more than he wants to support. I was going to ask Lauren here if that mysterious envelope contains a prenuptial agreement for you to sign, but she says she doesn't know what's in it. You don't?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Prenuptial agreement? I hadn't thought it could be that. Oh, golly, I hope so! I'm gonna find him and make him open his gifts right now!
I guess I just made her day. Darn.
It just occurred to me that Peggy Sue could be my next stepmother.
Look on the bright side, Deborah. If you move back home, Peggy Sue will cook you grits for breakfast.
I'd rather eat gravel, and I'd rather die than live under this roof with Father again.
Excuse me. The speakers have me set a coffee in the parlor if any of you want some.
Sounds good. Ladies?
I'd like a cup.
Why not? I might need the caffeine if I get into a fight before this shindig is over. Mom, just kidding, dear. Maybe.
I was wondering when I'd catch you alone.
Mr. Blackwell,
It's Tony.
what Miss Vickers said.
Don't mind what that old dragon told you. She's not around. You look worried, Edwina. What's the matter?
It's Miss Beatrice.
Don't you mean Miss Looney Tunes?
Don't say that. She just gets a little confused sometimes.
I'm sorry. I meant that in the nicest way possible. Please, sit down. So, tell me about it.
You know, Mrs. Beatrice's behavior has been very odd lately.
Lately?
She's started taking things around the house.
Things? What kinds of things?
Mostly decorative items like a crystal ashtray, Fabergé, and...
Wait, Fabergé? We're not talking cheap trinkets here, are we?
I know. Some of the objects are very valuable.
So what does she do with them then? Sell them?
Oh no. She hides them to take out and look at later, except she tends to forget where she puts them. We, the servants, are always finding things stuck in the strangest places. But we put them back with it.
So what are you worried about then?
We're worried Mr. Worthington might have noticed that a few expensive items have been missing, and might think one of us on the staff is stealing them. Those papers he had the lawyer bring tonight, they could be our dismissal papers. Mine, Ina's, Paul's, hers, Miss Vickers.
Well, you could just tell him that you're all innocent, that his little sister just has sticky fingers.
No! He'd have her put away. Don't you see? We all care for Miss Beatrice a great deal. And if anything should happen to her.
Don't cry, Edwina. I hate to see a woman cry. When I do, I want to take her in my arms like this and kiss her tears away like this.
You mustn't. I mustn't.
There's a strong attraction between us, Edwina. You feel it too. There's no need to fight it.
I can't. I'd be dismissed.
Edward doesn't have to know, and what he doesn't know won't hurt us.
Oh, Tony.
Everything will be fine, my sweet. Just trust me.
Edwina,
Miss Vickers!
that bunch in there is slipping off coffee like camels at a watering hole. We'll need another pot. Tell Ina, please.
Yes, ma'am.
If you have an urge for something sweet, Mr. Blackwell, we'll be serving birthday cake shortly.
I beg your pardon.
You know exactly what I mean. Edwina's a nice girl, and so is Eden. And I intend to see that they stay that way.
Is that a threat?
Take it any way you like. If I see you near any of the girls again, I'll tell Mr. Worthington what you're up to. It won't take much to have him throw you out by your ear.
Why?
Save your breath, you two-bit gigolo! Those girls are off limits. You've been warned.
That witch!
I trust you're not referring to me, brother dear.
No. It was the housekeeper, Mrs. Vickers.
Did she catch you trying to raid the pantry?
No. I was just talking to the maid.
Uh-huh. I thought I told you to stay away from them. Mrs. Vickers is very protective towards those girls.
Yeah, so I found out.
Forget about the girl. We've got bigger worries.
Such as?
That document or whatever it is Edward's carrying around,
Yeah, what about it?
it could be our eviction notice.
Eviction? What do you mean?
I mean, they could be divorce papers. If I left out in the cold, you would be too, Tony. We'd both be penniless.
Divorce? Are things that bad between you?
Edward has grown tired of me, and I suspect he's already picked my replacement. At first, I thought he was simply having a mild flirtation with that Dixie cream donut, Peggy Sue, but now, I'm not so sure.
Peggy Sue's a knockout. But you're more sophisticated than she is, more glamorous than
20 years older than she is. That hominy-fed hussy has one thing I don't, Tony. Youth. And that's one thing Edward's money can't buy me.
Edward's money? It should be your money, too. He hadn't made you sign that agreement.
But he did. I'm afraid the only way Edward's fortune could possibly become mine is if he were to drop dead before he divorced me.
Yeah, well, there's not much chance of that. Edward is as healthy as a horse.
Well, even horses have accidents.
Allegra, what are you suggesting?
Nothing, Tony. Nothing at all.
Excuse me, Mrs. Worthington, Mr. Blackwell.
Yes, Hollister? What is it?
Ina is planning on gathering everyone in here where Mr. Worthington can cut the cake and open his gifts.
Very good, Hollister. Where is Edward?
I don't know, madame. I have not seen him since dinner.
Yeah, neither have we.
I'll look for him upstairs. Tony, why don't you gather the others in here?
All right.
Hollister, make sure everything is prepared. We'll be right back.
As you wish, madame.
Oh, also, you better have a towel handy, because by the end of this, someone will be sent home crying.
I'll keep that in mind, sir. If there's any justice, it will be you.
Set the cake on the table, Ina.
That cake looks beautiful, Ina. It's too good for the likes of Mr. Worthington, but thank you, Edith.
Watch what you say, Ina. You never know who may be listening.
If someone stitches to that cold-hearted monster left, I quit long ago from his Beatrice.
We all would have, but we must hold our tongues for her sake.
She'd be lost without us.
Yes. I know, he makes me so mad sometimes. At dinner, he had the nerve to say my roast potato sticks is a little odd.
He did compliment the gravy, though. Said it was nice and thick.
He knew it made me angry. He was just trying to get on my good side. One of these days, I'll carve him up along with the roast beef.
Oh, Ina!
That's quite enough. Mr. Worthington left instructions that champagne is to be served with cake. Ina, girls, come with me.
All right, everything seems to be in order. I must check the downstairs bathroom for fresh hand towels.
Well, well, well. Seems my little letter has created quite the stir, just as I knew it would. Seems everyone under this roof has a lot to answer for, and they will before the night is over.
We just made it! I told you the rain wouldn't hold off much longer. Oh, Edward, Roy went out for some fresh air. I had to find him.
And you did. Will miracles never cease?
Oh, you're teasing. It wasn't easy, though. You have such a large estate.
Which, fortunately, I can afford. Can't I, Roy? I mean, my investments are sound, aren't they?
Of course, Edward, why do you ask?
Oh, no reason. I just haven't checked the books in quite some time. We should go over them, say, next week?
Sure, I'll schedule something for Friday afternoon.
Monday, 9 o'clock, sharp.
Whatever you say.
Gosh, it's raining cats and dogs.
It's party time. Be seated, everyone.
Goodness, I thought you had disappeared into thin air, Edward. Where on earth have you been?
Here and there. Have a seat, Peggy Sue.
Don't mind if I do, sugar.
Place them on the tables.
Staff, remain with us, please. I wouldn't dream of leaving my servants at the festivities.
Yes, Mr. Worthington.
And last to arrive, but not least, is my dear, loving wife, Allegra. Come in, have a seat. The moment you've all been anxiously waiting has arrived. Now, what should I do first? Cut the cake or open the gifts?
Hey, please,
The gifts? Are you sure? Ooh, this cake sure does look delicious. You've outdone yourself, Ina.
Glad you liked it.
I'm not sure if I can resist it till later. Ina did work hard to make it in my honor. What kind of cake is it, Ina?
Devil's food.
Right.
I suspect you're not the only one.
For goodness sake, stop toying with us. You know no one cares about the cake or the champagne or the stupid gifts. Tell us what's in the envelope.
So, you prefer cutting to the chase to cutting the cake, do you, my dear? Very well. What a harmless looking piece of paper this is. But what a commotion it has caused.
Of course it has, Edward. You're holding someone's fate in your hand.
More than one person's, possibly.
How right you are, daughter. How right you are.
Just tell us who's Edward.
We're all dying to know what's in the envelope.
Get on with it!
Please.
Very well. You insist. I'll let you do the honors, my dear. Open it.
They're blank.
What?
Is this your idea of a joke?
Not at all. Sit down. I've known for some time that some, if not all of you, have been keeping secrets from me. Perhaps even plotting and scheming to do me harm. The hostility in this room is so thick, I can cut it with that knife. I thought it was time to get it all out in the open. And so I did. How did I do it? With a little party game I devised. Let's call it the envelope game. By making you think there were papers inside that could expose your deceitful nature, You each projected your worst fears upon it, and discussed them amongst yourselves. All I had to do was sit back and listen. They all came tumbling out, your little secrets, and I heard them. Roy's private investments, using my money, Tony's philandering, Deborah's failing grades, Justine's fear I'll cut off her support, Beatrice's kleptomania, which my faithful servants have helped to cover up. I even learned, inadvertently, thanks to a comment Beatrice made, the main secret I set out to discover. Namely, the one who's been quietly selling my information to a Paul Jameson. That's the man who's announced he'd be writing one of those malicious tell-all biographies about me. I believe the Bar Association frowns upon such unethical behavior, Lauren.
I would never.
Sit down. I'll deal with you later. To conclude the litany of your offenses, is my dear, loving wife, Allegra, who told her brother she would like to see me dead.
You misunderstood me, Edward.
Oh, I understood perfectly. Sit down. Seems the only one amongst you that I can trust is Peggy Sue, my future wife.
Another one?
She's marrying me for my wealth, but at least she's honest about it.
Not just for the money, honey bunny. I love you too.
I believe you. Almost.
So what do we do now, Edward?
Peggy Sue and I are leaving. I've arranged a cozy little stay at an inn. When we come back, I expect each and every one of you to be out of this house. Soon, you'll be in my life. Forever!
The lights! Oh dear, it must be the storm.
Ow! What?
Sorry about that.
Everyone, please remain calm. There's a generator for just such an occurrence. It should kick on any moment now. There, you see?
I do now.
He's dead.
Freeze! Kind of ran out of time to pop the blood capsule on that time. And you might have noticed, I did delay the rain. You're welcome. At any rate, it's time for intermission, so you can all stretch your legs and do whatever you need to do. See you all in 20 minutes.